everyone, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Laurie. This video is part 2 of 2 videos where we create these journals together. It won't be these exact journals, they'll be similar. I'm trying to recreate them as close as possible, but they will not look the same. This is the paper that I created in the last video that I'm going to use to do my journals, and hopefully you saw part 1 and you created your own paper. And if not, go back to video 1 and create some paper and then come back here and join us in video 2 so you can create your journal with us. Okay, so here's my paper and we have the birds ready. I already did that in video 1 also. And so today what we're going to do is cover the next steps. So first of all, I want to gather up what I need for the inside of my journal just so it's here. And I already told you in video 1 what I used. So here's my packaging that I'm going to use today, and here are my papers that I'm going to use today, and I've already kind of grouped them together. First thing I do is fold my packaging in half, the direction I want my journal. You may have a different size packaging, so you may want to go the opposite way. I remove all the labels and stickers and things like that. You don't have to, you're going to cover them up, but I just go ahead and remove them. And then I took my papers. This is just cardstock. This is just scrapbook paper. This is packing paper. This is one of those papers that I made where you glue scraps together on top of a substrate, or you glue papers together to themselves. This happens to be glued to the back of a little paper that comes in eye drops, giving you all the do's and don'ts and all that stuff. More paper, this is more cardstock, and that's it. The other pages are the other half of what I just showed you. I've lined them up together inside each other, kind of in the center, but we're going to change that. So what I want to do is open my bag back up, and I see my line here, and I'm not worried about this. If you want, this is double layered, so I can stick my hand in there and you can't see through the hole, so you can go ahead and just glue this down if you have any issues with it. If not, then just leave it. I don't think it's a big deal. And my bag is sticky where I took that sticker off, so it's going to stick to everything. And then I take my papers, and like I said, I stacked them in each other already, but what I want to do is I'm going to make 2 sizes. I'm not going to make my journal split in half. I want a smaller journal and a larger journal like these turned out to be. So I want to move my papers around a little bit so that when I cut my journal, these papers here aren't too narrow, because if I leave it this way, this paper might wind up being like this big, and I really want it to be a little bit bigger. So I'm going to move my papers up just a little bit. So now I'm going to stick my papers in my bag, and I think I want it about right there. Yeah, about right there. So then I'm going to clamp this together so they stay together real good. This keeps sticking, so I'm going to fix that little problem. I'll just stick something there for now, and I'll probably take it off to decorate. The next thing I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to trim off this top and bottom. All right, so now what I need is my cutting mat. I'm just going to use this little cutting mat here and an X-Acto knife. And I'm going to figure out where I want to make my cut. Give myself enough room here. This bag is about the same size. It is the same size as the one I used before. So if I made my cut right here, it would give me the same size books. So we'll go about right there. Mark it real quick so that I have a guideline. If you don't have books to compare to, just gauge about where you think you want it. I'm going to get a ruler. This one has a metal edge. I'm going to stand so I can do this. I hopefully won't bump the camera. Okay, get my X-Acto knife ready. And I'm going to line this up. And you're not going to press so hard that you break your fingers. You're going to go a little at a time. Just make your swipe. Make another one. Gently, just keep going. And the reason I'm doing this now, and go slow, you don't want to slice a thumb or anything. The reason I'm doing this now is because I want to decorate my journals as the size they're going to be. I don't want to decorate them and then cut them. All right, so now you have 2 books about that size, which is the same as this. I'm going to go ahead and trim the edges here a little bit. So now I have my 2 books. So I'm going to unhook one and I'm going to open it up and see where my pages lie. So now I'm going to center them up. So when we bind these pages in, they line up where I want them to be. I'm going to hook it back. And we'll put this off to the side. And I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Okay, I've done this one too. So you've cut your package in half. That leaves you openings right here on the bottom one. So if you want to leave those open, leave them open. If not, glue them shut or leave them alone. I didn't do anything to mine, so they're still open. I can use them if I want to. However, on this one, the opening is not at the top, it's at the bottom. So you have to decide, is it okay with you to do this? And that way, your opening's at the top, and then you don't have to worry about anything being at the bottom. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna turn mine around, and I'm going to make this the front so that I have an opening at the top. I'm going to mark this front just so I know. So then I started with, I don't know, I think I started with the big one, but it really doesn't matter. I took my paper and I looked for sections of my paper that I really liked that I wanted on my journal. And then I glued down the paper. So I'm going to look this over a second and then I'll come back and let you know what I've chosen because I haven't done that part yet. So I'll be right back. Okay, I found the first section that I want to work with and I'm going to piece it together as I go. But I forgot to tell you guys, on these I cut my paper. On this one I just tore it. So you can see it's hanging out extra. It's longer. It's ripped looking. Okay, either way you like. So on this, I really like this color and these colors together. So I want some of that on my front. So I was thinking that I would tear it like right here. And then I want a flower on the front, kind of like I did here. So I'm going to tear out my little piece of paper. Let's go higher up here. I'm going to go ahead and tear out the whole piece of botanical because I might use the top of it and then bring the bottom in down here like this, like that, instead of going like this so that I lose it because I really like the top. I don't want this in there. So that's where I need it to break off, right there. So I'm going to do this. And do this like that. And then I'll take this. It's going to wind up in a different spot because of the way this is angled. I'm going to try it right in there. I may have to cut off another section. Yeah, it's a little bit too big. I could go around, I could wrap, but I don't want to. So I'll just take off this little section here. Okay. So I want to glue that down, but I'm going to wait because I'm going to see what else I want to add first and save these because you might need them for something else. I'm going to find the flower I like the best for the front. I'm going to get this one up here. Trying to leave as much intact as I can. I'm just going to tear this off. I'm going to cut out my flower, but I want to get it separated first. Okay, so now I want to cut this out. I really like this in here though. Let's do this. I won't keep it long for all of this, but I want to get you started and I want you to see what I go through to do it. You know what? To make things easier on myself, I'm going to go ahead and glue this together. This is where they're going to go, right here. And this flower here could go like that. It's going to cover this, all that effort I went to, so maybe I could just use half the flower. I want this to go up and down to match this. Alright, I'm just going to cut out the flower and then we'll see what we can do with those stripes. We may not use them. So see, you just test it and you try it out. If you don't like it, you start over and do it again different. So let's try this again. It looks good there. And let's see, how does this fit in anywhere? Down here maybe? Like that. And then I brought in scrapbook paper to kind of fill in. And on this particular one, I don't need as much, but we will bring some in for down here and up here. And that way you can see how I did that. I will probably add another flower or two, or maybe some circles somewhere. Let me get my paper, and I'm going to look through this book to find paper. This is Paper, the Botanical Collection. I got it at Barnes & Noble. So I'm going to look through here and see if I find a paper that blends enough with this that I like together that I can work with. Okay, I went through the whole book. And I really like this one. I think that would go with it really well. And I really like this one. I love all the different mark making in here. So I might use a piece of it. I don't know, it's over here set off to the side just in case. So what I want to do is tear this out of my book here. This paper book has little booklets in it. Actually, I'm tearing two by accident. Has little booklets in it and has stickers and all kinds of stuff in it. This is a notebook and there's cards, little cards, and that other little list journal. This is bigger, like poster size paper, stickers, things like that, bookmarks. So there's a lot of stuff in there to pull from. I'm going to tear off the sheet that I want to use. I like the pink, bringing the pink over here. Okay, so I'm going to glue this down. Okay, right there. I'm going to tear this off. Everything back in place here. Okay, that'll be like that. And let's say this can go up here. I'm going to go ahead and glue that up there just for the heck of it. It might get covered up because I might not need it, but it's there. It's okay if some brown bag shows too. I'll pull this up. I don't really want that there. I'll hold my paper in place for a second. I'm going to go ahead and glue this one down now. So you can see how the painty paper we made is not looking at all like what it did on the table. So if you didn't like it or didn't like sections of it, you just use what you like and then it makes a whole new look. So now I want the flower on here, but this little guy is bothering me here, so we're going to cut that off. And I want as much of the flower on there as I can get, but I want to leave as much of this as I can get. So I'm going to bring the smaller pieces over, which leaves a little area right here. And I could leave it, and I might, but I'm going to look and see if there's anything I want to add in there that I would enjoy seeing pop through if it gets left. That might look good because we have purple down here, and it's purple up here too. And you won't know what this is. Or you could use more of your paper, which I don't think I want to do. Kind of like that. Let's do a leaf. Glad this little piece got left on because I really like this little section of the flower. So I'm going to trim off the top, and I keep these little trim pieces, probably not this one, there's nothing on it, but I'll keep this because it might get used somewhere like on the edge of the journal or in a flower or something, so I keep little things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and do the back of this one. I really like these circles. So I thought I would wrap it, but that would cover my flower. But for now, I'm going to start on the back and worry about the side later. I could use this on the back. I'm going to save this little piece for my other journal because I like it and I want it on both of them. What do I want on the back of this one? And I like this area too. I'm going to use the rest of this paper and work around it. Could open it and work this way so you see what you got going on, but what's the fun in that? We're going to have a storm here, so if you start hearing thunder, I think the last time I filmed we had a storm. So the doggies will be in here and they'll be panting, so just prepare yourself. And I haven't filmed in like a week, so it's been a while and we're going to have a major storm today. I'm hesitant to pick something for the back of my journal because I don't know what I want to do on my small journal, and I don't want to use something that I might want that would look better on my small journal. So to solve that problem, put this journal away for a second, get your other journal, pick out your main focal point that you want to use on here from your sheet. Once you've got that chosen, then you can work around that. You don't have to worry that you use something that you might could have used on here. I think for this one, I want this flower, and I want it to go kind of crazy like that. So I'm going to tear out, oh, I really like those flowers though. This is hard. I like so much of this paper that I don't want to lose any of it, but I can't have everything. At least that's what I was told in my life. I can't have everything. And I talked about using this on this journal. But then again, I'm thinking, maybe I don't want it to look the same. Maybe I don't want that same scallop. Maybe I want it somewhere else. Maybe on the bottom. And the flower can come out of it. It's a big stem though, so I don't know. It might not work. Ooh, but I could leave this on here like that. See what that looks like. Oh, I like that. Let's do that. I love that whole piece right there, just like that. Oh, I love that. Okay. Whew. I get excited and then let's just go ahead and glue part of it down so we know what we're working with. And I can cover up anything I don't want to see later, but I really like the whole area, so I'm just going to go ahead and glue that down part way up the back. I'm going to leave part of it open so we can tuck paper, because we might want to use some of our paper. So I know what I want to do on the front here. I want this big piece. So I'm gonna leave this as it is. Let's trim off the top a little bit though. I'm gonna leave it as it is and go back to my other journal. Now I can finish my other journal because I have my major focal point piece on here. And we'll come back to it in a second. See, I could do this if I wanted to. That'd look good. Okay, so back to this journal, back of it. And now I'm freed up because I don't have to worry about picking something that I should have used on my other journal. Let's cut out this pink flower here. And I didn't use this on the other journal, at least not yet, so it's still optional for the back of this one. Okay, I had to take a small break and get my lunch, which is here. So I'm going to be drinking that for a minute, but I wanted to, when I came back and looked at this, I thought, oh, I like that. So I have kind of given you a guideline of how I struggle through trying to figure out what I'm going to put and where and all that stuff. And I'm not quite done with the back of this, and this is just the back of the journal. So I'm going to stop talking for a little while, put on some music, and let y'all just watch me go through the rest of the process of doing the back and gluing down and things. And if I have something important to talk about, it's very rare I have anything that important to say, I will stop and tell you. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of the process of this one. Really all it is just auditioning, saying yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Maybe, maybe, yes, no. And then voila, you walk away and come back and go, oh, that's so beautiful. That's how it works. Magic, right? Okay, I have everything glued on the back. I actually like the back really well too. So there's the front, there's the back, and I still kind of want to put something down the center, like a wrap. So I was thinking, remember this paper that I really liked? Maybe it would look good. So I'm going to tear it out of the book and audition it and see if it is something I would like to do. I don't want to put it too far in here, so it has to be, maybe I'll do it like this. Put it on the back here, and then I'll wrap it, but I'll tear it and make it come down this way. Maybe? Okay, and then if I wanted to, I could try and get a little bit up here. I think I'm gonna leave it. I just really don't want to mess this up. We're just gonna leave it partially wrapped. But I do want to bring this paper in somewhere else on here. So I'm gonna stick this in here to remind me to do that. Let's switch over here. Now I need to decide, do I want to leave this here like this? I might. This is going to come off. So then this is going to be cut off at the top. So what else do we want on here? Do I want any of this on here? Ooh, that looks good there because of the pink. Let's do that. I'm just going to glue it down, and I'm going to leave this back here, I think, but we're going to not glue that part. We're just going to glue the rest of this right here. All right, so now we'll decide on that in a minute, and we'll add more to the front in a minute too, because I'm just not thinking that it's done yet. I don't know, something's missing, but we'll figure it out. Let's go to the back. Take this off because we don't need it. And I think I wanted to use this on the back. So maybe right there. And then I think I want to use this botanical looking thing on the back. I definitely want these on the back. I'm going to cut this out, and I'm not so sure I need this now because it's kind of blah. So let's say it's not there. Let's put that there. And then maybe this flower. Okay, so I think I'm going to not wrap this here. I think I'm going to cut it off. We're gonna go sideways with this one. I'm changing flowers. Who says you can't have a sideways flower? I changed directions completely. I just wasn't feeling the other way, so I tried something else, and I like this better. And once again, I've trapped myself into, I can't really wrap this because my flower's in the way, although I could lift this and wrap it before. But I don't really want to wrap it now. Pretty sure I don't. Okay, so we're just going to go with that. I was thinking of wrapping this around to the front, but I didn't know if I liked it, so I thought I'd try it. That actually looks good there. I like that. Let's just do that. I like that. The front needed a little something. Let's check our other journal. I stuck this in here because I thought I might do what with it? Put it somewhere else on the journal. So the back has 3 areas of this, and the front has 5. All right, and let's see what this needs. Got it over here, nowhere else, and we've got it here and nowhere else. We don't really need a whole lot here. Maybe a little piece in there. So I'm trying to remember what I did next. I didn't film when I made these, so I think what I did next was I took paint, gesso and paint, and I went around and I just brought out what I wanted visible and pushed back what I wanted to kind of disappear. I'm going to be honest with you, I like these so much that I don't really want to push back too much. So I'm going to start with a little bit of gesso that's rather transparent. I'm just going to go around the edges where the paper is. Now, if you put yours together in such a way you don't love it, but you love certain parts of it, this is where you will take your gesso and you'll push back what you don't love, or you'll take paint of the color you like and you'll paint around the things you want to stand out, and you'll push back what's back there that you don't love. But I am kind of loving all this, so I'm just going to take a little bit of gesso and go around the edges just to kind of blend them into the page a little bit and see how that goes. And we still have to add our bird. So that's going to take something away from our page. It's going to hide some things because your bird will be on top. But I didn't mean to make this in such a way that I didn't want to cover anything up, but it just worked out that way. So I'm giving you a basic idea of what I did with the other ones. I just went around with my paintbrush with paint and gesso and blended the edges together. And if I didn't like something, like for instance, if I don't like this little area here, I just put a little gesso there and kind of push it back. But I don't mind that area, so I don't really want to cover it. Put some on the bag where it didn't get any paper. This one is Artist Loft, and it's really old. Really, really old. Just so that you get an idea of how I did it with paint, I will bring some paint in. Not much on these, unfortunately. There's not much to do on this one because I kept most of the paper on this, which I didn't do on the other one, on the original too. I'm going to do with the gesso, I'm going to use my white China marker, my black Stabilo All pencil. I'm going to use my Posca pen, black and white, the smaller ones. These are 0.7 millimeters. And I might use my gel pen by Arteza. Oh, and paint. I said I was going to do paint to show you what I did. Okay, let's see. What area could I do? An example, if you wanted to blend these more, you could bring in a color that you like. And I'm just using the same brush I put the gesso on with. It's a rather scruffy brush, so it's going to make rough edges. And just go around your edges. I kind of blend with my finger as I go, too. You can go into the other colors if you want, and sometimes it looks pretty cool. But I like this paper so much, I don't want to cover it that much. So I might put a little there, a little there. So that's what you do with your paint. Just go in and line anything you want to line, or if you want to push it back and you don't want to see it anymore. Like that leaf that I didn't think I needed. Where is that? Here, I could bring my blue paint in like this. Kind of push it back there. But I actually like seeing it, so I don't want to cover it too much. But that's kind of what you do. But I just like these colors sticking through, so I'm not going to do anything else to them. Or you could take your paint and you could bring out things more. Like I could take my yellow or orange and I could bring this in darker. But I don't really need to do that on this. I did it over here where I brought in some circles with my finger and I outlined my flower and some shapes here. Over here I did some shapes. But I must have used a paper that didn't have a lot going on, and I added more, but these have a lot going on, so I don't really need to add more. So I want to start playing around with these pencils and things. And if you've got shapes you want to bring out again, just bring them out with your pencils and your markers. Okay, I've done a lot of little doodling on my pages. So now I want to bring in my birds and I'm going to write on them like I did on these. This one I used, I think, a big marker and it didn't work well. So I went over it with a gel pen and I actually like the look of it now that way, so I might do one that way. And this one I just wrote on with a gel pen and I really like it. You know, I'm going to find that marker. I want to do that again. Actually, I think I used my Versum chalkboard marker. I use it on paper. I think I used that and it faded into the paper. So I'm just going to do that. So let that dry for a second. we have our birds. Now I need some wings, and on this one I used some canvas. It was a canvas I took apart and tore up. So I think I will try to find something in here to use for one of the birds because I really liked it. And on this one I just used paper, so I'll look for that. Maybe a petal? I don't know. I'll find that and then I'll come back and we'll put the birds together. Okay, I cut 2 from this canvas that I told you about. It's 2 little canvases actually. And I'm gonna look and see which one I like the best. One's more pointy than the other. They're kind of leaf shapes. I kind of like that. I'll probably go with that one. And on this one, do I want this? I actually kind of like that on there. Or I could make one out of this. Oh, I like that. I like that better. Or I could use this, which I think no. All right, I took the liberty while I was off camera to go ahead and add the wings, and all I did was glue them down where I wanted them. Then took my black and my white Posca pen and went around the leaves. I kind of like to do pencil too, but I didn't, so I'm doing it now. And you can go through and scribble in here anywhere you want to make your pencil marks, which I haven't done yet. It's a good time to do it. So we're going to put our papers in now. So we have our stacks already made earlier in the video. I'm just going to use a needle that will accommodate whatever thread I'm going to use. It's an upholstery needle. I'm just going to use hemp, natural hemp cord. For this journal, I'm going to take my edge and I'm going to measure 1, 2, probably 2.5 is enough, but we're going to do 3 and a little bit, just so we have enough. Just so we don't have to worry. And for this one, 1, 2, 3, and a little bit. Okay, the dogs are back panting, just so you know. I keep my needles in a makeup sponge so that I don't poke myself when I go looking for them. I have an awl here to poke my holes, or you could use your big upholstery needle if you have one. Okay, this is the small one. So make sure your papers are lined up how you want them. And I put it right there in the center. And I find the center of all my papers. Then I'm going to take my awl. I'm going to find the center, and this is ish. Okay, I'm not measuring. Poke a hole. Big enough for my needle to go through and my thread. I'm going to go down a little bit further than normal up here because I kind of want to catch this paper that's smaller. Got to go down kind of far for that, like right here. For this one, I'll make the tails inside. So we'll start on the inside. Go through the center and come out. Pull your thread through, but leave a tail about that long as you need to tie. You want to hold the tail. If you want, go ahead and put a little bit of washi tape there to hold it so that you don't have to hold a tail and try to finagle with the other 2 holes. So there's my tail. Okay, then you're going to go to the top hole, turn it over, find your hole in the back, and come through like that. Come all the way through. Make it taut, but don't pull too tight. You don't want to tear it. You don't want to tear your journal. These are not real strong papers. You're going to jump the center hole all the way to the other hole at the end here. Pull it through. Pull it taut. Then you're going to come up the center hole, but you see how your tail is on this side of the string, on this side of the string? You want the other tail to be on this side of the string so that when you tie your knot, your string's in the middle. So go to the back, find your hole, come up the center, get my finger loose, and come up on the other side of your center string. Okay, and it's taut on the back, but not too tight. And you see we had plenty of string, so remove it from your needle if you want to. I usually do. Take off your washi tape. Give it a little tug just to make sure everything is where it's supposed to be, and then tie a box knot. Tie it one direction, then switch over and tie it the other direction. And then I just leave a little string in there because it's kind of cool to have it in your journal. And voila, this journal is ready to go. I gotta fix that, but open it, and there's your papers. And you can start decorating and adding papers and tip-ins and all kinds of things. And I didn't make this very big. If you wanted a bigger journal, if you wanted to add more signatures, this is called a signature. This one section of papers that I put in is called a signature. If you wanted more than one signature, what you would want to do, you would want to have a bigger crease so that you had more space for more signatures. And we didn't do that today, so I'm not going to go into detail on that, but that's how you bind your signatures in. On this journal, the bigger one, instead of doing 3 holes, I did 5. This one I'm going to start on this side so that the tail is on the outside. And I'm going to start in the center again. And I can't remember how I did it, so we're just going to make it up. Down, the next one up. Then come up the one above at the top. And then down the one you came out of a minute ago. Then I'm going to skip the center hole and go straight over here to the next hole here. 1, 2, 3, the 4th hole. And then go down the last hole, back up the one I just went in, the 4th hole, and then up the center hole. And again, make sure that your tails are on each side of your string so that you can tie it. I didn't do it that way on this one. I don't know what I did. I don't remember. Just work it out the best way you can. It doesn't really matter. Unless you are a professional bookbinder, then it'll matter to you. Okay. So that book is done. And the reason I have that more holes is because I had a smaller piece here and I wanted to catch this here, and I didn't want to leave it too loose up here and down at the bottom. Okay, I've looked these over and I don't see anything else I want to do. On this one I added some of the twine that I used to bind the book into the center of my flower, but I don't want to do that because I like the center of this flower. You could look it over and decide if you want to add anything else, but I think that's all I'm going to do. So there's your journals from one packaging. So I hope you're inspired and I hope that you have a great whatever it is, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.